Okay, what if you could take 18 months of really complex, difficult medical research and squeeze all of it down into just 2 seconds? No, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. It's the promise of a brand new AI platform that's poised to totally transform how we find new medicines. Now, to really get why this is such a huge deal, we've got to start with just one number: $150 billion. That single figure right there is the key to this whole story. Because that number, that staggering amount of money, that's the estimated cost every single year of a hidden problem, a massive bottleneck in how we develop new drugs. It's this quiet crisis that's happening in labs all over the world, slowing down the cures we're all waiting for and costing an insane amount of money. So, here's the $150 billion question, right? After all the hype we've heard for years, can a new type of AI actually fix this massive, long-standing, and incredibly expensive problem?
To see how it might, we first have to get our heads around what this bottleneck even is. So let's dive in and take a closer look.
The entire problem, the whole thing, revolves around something called a biomarker. The easiest way to think about it is like a biological receipt. You know, when scientists test a new drug, they need proof, some kind of measurable sign in your body that the drug is actually doing its job. That proof, that's the biomarker. Every single new medicine needs one. It's that simple. No biomarker, no drug. Period.
And here's the rub. The way we go about finding these critical biomarkers right now is, well, it's just broken. And you can pretty much sum up the failure in 3 words. It's slow, it's expensive, and, way too often, it's just plain wrong.
I mean, just look at these numbers. We're talking 18 to 24 months for a single project. That's a huge delay that just burns through a drug's valuable patent life. And the cost? We're looking at up to $2 million a pop, and that needs a whole team of PhD scientists. But maybe the worst part, the real kicker, is the failure rate. Over a third of these long, expensive projects just end up being wrong, which leads to even more wasted time and money down the road. So now scale that up to a major pharmaceutical company. That broken process can easily cost them over $150 million a year. BiRAGAS is coming in and saying, hey, we can do that exact same work, not in 2 years, but in a matter of weeks, and not for $150 million, but for around $2 million. I mean, the math is just, wow. You're talking about saving over $140 million and getting almost a 2-year head start.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Those numbers sound completely insane. How on earth is that even possible? Well, the secret isn't some giant mysterious AI brain. It's actually a very specific and pretty clever piece of the puzzle that they call the Step 41 breakthrough.
The BiRAGAS engine is this big, complex pipeline with 46 different steps. But the real magic, the part that changes the game, isn't any of the analysis steps. It's all about one particular step, Step 41. This is the linchpin, the one thing that turns 45 separate research tools into one smooth, commercially ready system.
So what the heck is Step 41? Well, think of it as a universal translator and a quality control cop, all rolled into one. It's like a USB standard. It forces every single component to speak the exact same language and handle data in the exact same way. And it's also like a blockchain, making sure every single result is perfectly repeatable and trustworthy. You see, without it, you've just got a cool science project. But with it, you have a product.
Okay, so with that crucial piece of the puzzle in place, let's break down the engine into its 4 main parts. This is where you can really see how all that crazy efficiency actually happens in the real world.
First up, we've got what's basically the order form. The old way of doing things, a scientist has to write a 50-page novel of a plan, hand it over to a specialist who then spends 3 days coding it up. The new way, the scientist just asks a question in plain English.
And the impact is immediate. You're cutting the prep time from 3 days down to 30 seconds. But the really huge thing here, the bigger picture, is that it opens the doors for so many more people. Suddenly, you don't need a super specialized PhD just to ask the system a powerful scientific question. All right, the second part is the product specification. And to get this, you have to know that biological data is a total mess. It's inconsistent, it's messy, it's from all different sources. It used to take weeks of someone's life to manually clean it all up and check for mistakes. This system does all of it, automatically, in just a few minutes. So right there, you've just cut data prep time by 90%. And here's the really important part. It's not just fast, it's thorough. It automatically checks the data against 25 different quality control points and creates this perfect paper trail, all ready to hand right over to regulatory agencies like the FDA.
Third, we have the delivery package. Because let's be real, what good is an amazing AI if it gives you an answer buried in a 100-page technical report that no one can understand? Instead, BiRAGAS gives you the answer right up front in a clear executive summary, complete with a confidence score so you know how much to trust it. Then, if you want to, you can dive into the nitty-gritty details.
This is all about one thing, turning data into decisions, fast. We're talking 80% faster decision-making for executives. Managers can see the bottom line, they can see how confident the AI is in its answer, and that is absolutely everything when you're about to bet millions and millions of dollars on that result.
And finally, number 4, the quality certificate. Now, this might be the most valuable part of the whole thing. Imagine spending half a year and $500,000 testing an idea in a lab, only to find out your starting point was flawed from the beginning. This is a system that predicts the biological accuracy and tells you before you even start if the AI's idea is likely to work in the real world.
Just think about that. This one feature could cut failed experiments by 60%. It's hitting 93% accuracy in its predictions, where the rest of the industry is kind of stuck around 60 or 70%. That's not just a little better, that's a whole new level of trust and reliability for AI in this field.
So when you add it all up, the incredible speed, the massive cost savings, the automation, that new level of trust, what do you actually get? Well, you get something so big people are starting to ask a pretty wild question. Could this become the Amazon Web Services of biology?
The market for this is huge. Remember that $150 billion number? That's the prize. And we're not just talking about big pharmaceutical companies. This is for companies developing new diagnostic tests, for university researchers. Basically, anyone and everyone in the life sciences could use a platform like this.
And that really brings us to the big, final idea here. This isn't just about making another tool for scientists. The vision is to build the actual foundation, the fundamental infrastructure that the entire next generation of medicine will run on. A foundational layer for biology, just like AWS became the foundation for the internet. It's a huge idea, and if they pull it off, it really could change the world.